everyone! Jay Blades, the charismatic and warm-hearted craftsman, best known as the host of BBC's The Repair Shop, has long been celebrated for his authenticity, kindness, and unwavering commitment to restoring not just broken objects, but also broken spirits. Yet behind that calm, reassuring smile that millions of fans have come to love, there has always been a much more complex personal story quietly unfolding. While the public knows Jay as the man who mends heirlooms and spreads hope, few realize that his own life has been marked by heartbreak, loss, and emotional turmoil, much of it involving his complicated relationship with his ex-wife, fitness trainer Lisa Zbozen. Their whirlwind romance, surprising marriage, and painful separation have become the focus of endless public fascination. And now, after months of silence and speculation, Lisa has finally broken her silence. And what she's revealed has left fans stunned. The truth behind their love, their split, and the real Jay Blades is far more emotional, layered, and unexpected than anyone imagined, offering a rare glimpse into the private life of one of Britain's most beloved TV personalities. To understand the weight of Lisa's revelations, one has to go back to the beginning of Jay's story. Long before fame, before the TV cameras, before the repair shop made him a household name. Born in Hackney, London, Jay grew up in a world that offered him few advantages. Raised by a single mother in poverty, he often described his childhood as tough but formative. He left school without qualifications, struggled with racism, dyslexia, and direction, and found himself drifting through life without a clear purpose. But Jay was resilient. His passion for helping others and his natural leadership would eventually become the cornerstone of everything he achieved. Before television, Jay dedicated himself to community work, setting up charitable projects to support disadvantaged youth and teaching them practical skills. It was through this work that he built his reputation not just as a craftsman but as a healer, someone who could see beauty in what others discarded. Yet, while his career was on the rise, Jay's personal life was quietly unraveling, and the emotional scars of his early struggles were beginning to catch up with him. Before meeting Lisa, Jay had been married once before, to Jade, the mother of his daughter Zola. Their relationship ended painfully, and Jay has often spoken about how that period nearly broke him. He fell into a deep depression, even becoming homeless at one point, sleeping in his car for weeks while trying to rebuild his life. That darkness would become a recurring theme in his story, the tension between public optimism and private pain. But just when it seemed Jay had found peace again, life introduced him to someone new, Lisa Zbozen, a fitness entrepreneur known for her positivity, spirituality, and wellness-focused lifestyle. Their relationship blossomed quickly, with Jay describing her as his soulmate and the missing piece of his life. In 2022, the two tied the knot in a small, intimate ceremony in Barbados, a wedding Jay described as the happiest day of my life. Fans were overjoyed seeing the ever-humble repair shop host finally get his fairy tale ending. But as we now know, that happiness wouldn't last. Within months, cracks began to show. Rumors circulated about trouble in paradise, and by 2024, Jay and Lisa had quietly separated, unfollowing each other on social media and scrubbing posts from their accounts. At first, both remained silent, fueling speculation among fans and tabloids alike. Was it infidelity? Was it fame? Or simply two people growing apart under pressure? Then, after months of uncertainty, Lisa Zbozen finally spoke out, and her words painted a much deeper, more heartbreaking picture than anyone expected. In a candid and emotional message shared with her followers, Lisa revealed that she had been emotionally shattered by the breakup, and that the end of her marriage had left her questioning everything she believed about love and trust. "You think you know someone," she wrote, "and then one day you wake up and realize you were living in a different story than the one you thought you were writing together." Her statement didn't accuse Jay of wrongdoing, but it was clear she felt blindsided and deeply hurt. She spoke about giving her all to the marriage, supporting him through his career, and standing by him in private struggles, only to find herself, in her own words,
For many
left
fans,
behind in silence.
it was a shock. The image of Jay as the endlessly compassionate figure on the repair shop seemed at odds with the man Lisa described. Distant, emotionally unavailable, and caught up in a world that no longer made room for her. But Lisa's message wasn't bitter or vengeful. It was raw and honest. She admitted that she still wished him happiness, but that she needed to find peace outside of someone else's shadow. For Jay, the public reaction was intense. Some defended him fiercely, insisting that no one truly knows what happens in a marriage. Others began to question whether the man who spends his TV life fixing broken things might have neglected to fix the cracks in his own heart. Jay himself, true to form, didn't respond publicly to Lisa's comments in detail. Instead, he shared cryptic reflections on social media about healing, forgiveness, and personal growth. In one post, he wrote, "Sometimes, life breaks you so you can rebuild stronger." Those words, though subtle, seemed to acknowledge the pain without assigning blame. Friends close to Jay revealed that the breakup had hit him hard, particularly because he had believed Lisa was his forever partner. "Jay's someone who loves deeply but struggles to open up," one insider explained. "When he does, he gives everything, but when things fall apart, he retreats into himself." The breakup also exposed how difficult it can be to maintain a normal relationship under the spotlight. Jay's life had changed dramatically since becoming the face of one of the BBC's most beloved programs. His fame brought admiration but also scrutiny. Long filming schedules, public appearances, and a level of exposure that few relationships can withstand. Lisa, who was used to a more private, spiritual life focused on health and mindfulness, reportedly found the constant attention overwhelming. She had built her own identity as a fitness coach and wellness expert, but after marrying Jay, she felt her individuality slipping away. "It stopped being Lisa and Jay and became Jay and Lisa," one of her friends said. She adored him but felt like she was disappearing. Their story, though painful, has resonated with countless people who have faced similar struggles. The conflict between love and individuality, the difficulty of balancing ambition with intimacy, and the heartbreak of realizing that even the most beautiful connections can come undone. What makes Lisa's silence-breaking confession so powerful is not that she exposed some dark secret, but that she reminded everyone that even public figures who seem to have perfect lives are still vulnerable to heartbreak. She described her healing journey as learning to live again, one breath at a time. And while she didn't vilify Jay, her words made it clear that their love story ended not with anger, but with sorrow. Meanwhile, Jay continues to do what he does best: bring people together through compassion and craftsmanship. But those who followed his career closely say there's a noticeable change in his demeanor lately, a quiet heaviness beneath his ever-present smile. On the repair shop, when he listens to guests tell stories about lost loved ones or broken family relationships, there's an unmistakable emotion in his eyes, as if he understands their pain a little too well. It's that emotional authenticity that has kept fans loyal, even as his personal life has unraveled. In the end, the story of Blades and Lisa Zbozen isn't one of scandal or betrayal, but of two people whose lives collided beautifully and then fell apart painfully. It's a reminder that love, no matter how genuine, can sometimes fail under the weight of circumstance, fame, and unhealed wounds. Lisa's decision to finally break her silence wasn't an act of revenge, it was an act of release. Her words were filled with heartbreak, yes, but also acceptance. And for Jay, perhaps the biggest repair of all isn't on an antique clock or a worn-down table, it's within himself. As the world continues to watch him mend the pasts of others, fans can't help but hope that one day he'll find a way to mend his own. Because if there's one thing we've learned from Blades' journey, it's that no matter how broken something seems, with time, patience, and love, it can always be restored. Thanks for watching.